Headless Headhunter, and I'm reviewing a resume of a system administrator. So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit different. So, with system administrators, you can have a lot of different stuff, and these keywords are gonna be about like 50% accurate. There's a lot of commonalities between them, but you're not gonna need all of them to succeed because it's really gonna determine based on which place you're going to. And again, I am, I'm a corporate recruiter who reviews resumes. So if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. It is very beneficial because the algorithm I will one day understand. So this person has applied to 50 and gotten one interview back, which is okay. That's sort of like the bare minimum for a non-fresher, a non-intern, a non someone seeking visa kind of thing. So it's about 50 to 1 is like the bare minimum you ever really want to be. They sent this as a PNG, which is bad. Please don't send it as a PNG. Just Word doc or PDF. Both are fine, but not a PNG. The fact is you may not actually be able to be read by the ATS if you send a PNG. I've definitely seen some weird file size types that just did not parse, but as long as it's a PDF or a Word doc, you're fine. So, what we're going to be looking for is Windows 365, Unix, Windows, Mac iOS, HubSpot, Zendesk, Jira, Asana, Zapier, priorities, task, and meet deadlines, PowerShell, AWS, Autodesk, Intune, and Azure, or any other cloud. So basically, you're setting up the systems, and I need to make sure that you can do that. So there'd be like installing and helping users. So the formatting for this is horrifying because, again, it's a PNG. Don't do that. So, IT professional with over 5 years of managing security IT across business, local government, education, institution improvements. No, don't. The summary is not needed. I can't highlight it because this was a PNG that I had to convert to a PDF, but this doesn't work. It doesn't need it. So, provided IT support and managed systems for business, ensuring smooth operation servers, networks, and cybersecurity measures. I need a little bit more, like what kind of stuff like you did, but that's kind of fine. Perform multiple client migrations to 365 in Azure. That's a good one. That second bullet point's fantastic. Upgraded client networks, including switches, firewalls. I did not put it, but firewalls could be one of the things that you need. Respond to priority 1 business critical emergencies and served as an all-call. That's actually fine. A lot of them want 24/7. Executed vulnerability remediation Sentinel-1 portal full. I'm not sure that's going to be a keyword. So your second to last bullet point on your first job, but again, I may have missed it. A lot of these are going to be different. Implement and monitor cybersecurity solutions. Again, that one isn't either. So I would like a little bit more from some of these, like maybe the environment, like provided IT support and managed systems for businesses in a Windows and Linux and Mac environment or whatever it is, where I ensured smooth operations of servers, networks, and cybersecurity measures by X and Y. But I don't think this is bad. Honestly, this is fine. I think you're missing some, and the last 2 bullet points don't really do much, although that may be a lack of knowledge on my part on this. But delivered technical support and covers completion, network deployment for clients, cloud-based migrations, that's fine. Yeah, these are not bad. I think your bullet points are solid. I think you're missing a bit, but I can definitely see people moving you forward. Truthfully, your summary is people probably read the summary and be like, okay, that's not what we need, and move on. Which hopefully they read more than the summary, but that's why your summary can be safely deleted, as you don't need it. Let's see. And Bachelor's of Arts in Cyber. This should be up top. This education should be right here along with any certs. So yeah, I don't think this resume is bad. I can understand why it's getting 1 to 50. Truthfully, I think maybe part of the problem is you send it as a PNG, but maybe you just did that to me. Hopefully, but make sure you're not sending a PNG to other recruiters. They will not be able to look at it. But I think you're primarily just missing a little bit of the keywords, primarily the environment, and maybe how you, like on the people side, like how did you teach other people to do this kind of thing? How did you help others navigate that environment? But overall, I think the bullet points are fine and solid. So that's a good first start for this video. Let's move on to the next one. We have a technical writer, and I do that in quotations because this person sent me a bunch of information about themselves that wasn't quite related to technical writing, but how they wanted to go to another industry. So we're going to tell you a little bit about this and how to do it. The longest story short is they previously were an engineer and they moved into technical writing, and that was a long time ago, and they want to go back to engineering, but they're not sure how to write their resume. And the truth is, there is a resume format that I know that can help with that, and it is not this format, because there is, and I have been hesitant to bring this up in these videos, there is another format that does work to get resumes, except it's a nightmare to teach, and it's not necessarily better than the previous one, it's just different. But for this very specific situation, I think it would be beneficial, so I would recommend stopping by the stream and I can show you, because it's a nightmare to teach, and you cannot ever mix them. If you ever mix the two styles, it's like oil and chocolate. It doesn't work. They just melt, and it's gross and it's unhealthy. So I'm going to have to judge this based on technical writing in particular, but if you want me to try to teach you how to get back into engineering, let me know. Just pop by the stream and I'll show you the other one. It's a completely different style, and it's harder to teach. So let's judge this one, though, as technical writer. So we're going to be looking for a lot of industry-specific stuff, but get, mark down, multitask the specific industry which you wrote, how you collaborated with cross-functional teams and clarify technical concepts. That was across most of them. Good documentation practices. I think that's GDP. I may be incorrect. Zendesk, Google Suite, Camtasia, Jira, Confluence, Snagit, and Audacity. The audacity of these words. Microsoft Word. Yes, that is important. And Adobe, Excel, Visio, and Captivate. So those are gonna be some of the keywords. Really what we're gonna look for is how you wrote documents, how they use documents, what you used to write them, and how you understood new stuff. So they currently have 100 to 1, which isn't great at all. They have 15 years experience as a technical writer, authoring, and with hardware software engineering. Prior to that, it's been 20 years as an engineer. Again, you keep bringing this up, and I don't think it's relevant. Yeah, like, you don't need this. You should have writing samples, because that is something that the manager would look at. But I don't think any of this is needed. This summary is not needed at all. I don't see a need for it. You don't need to tell me that you have 15 years as a technical writer and you're an engineer. It's not going to be as relevant. So created, edited, and published highly technical software and hardware documentation. That's actually fine, such as MOPS. Please notes, technical service project, troubleshooting manuals. I think that's fine. Collaborated with a diverse team of software and hardware developers and DevOps professionals, project testers. I mean, these could be one sentence, right? Created, edited, and published technical software and hardware documentations while collaborating with a cross-functional team of X and Y. So, worked closely with SMEs. Okay, I know what that is. That's subject matter experts, but it's possible your recruiter may not know, and I don't know if it's really necessary to put it. I mean, customers and stakeholders is good. Published quality technical animations for 4G network. Created other written for technical tasks and processes. What do you mean for other technical? This is unnecessary. Trained other technical writers and assisted when needed. How did you train? Document and maintain departmental SOPs. That's fine. Standard operating procedures. That's what it stands for. Probably beneficial for the first time you use this to actually put out what standard operating procedure stands for, because it's possible that they may not know what SOP is. Participate in the role of an Oxy XML. This doesn't mean anything to me. Experience with Microsoft SharePoint can be useful. Was a keyword. Experience with Grammarly. Why do you just have this here? Why is this not a one bullet point? Experience with this. Okay, just you can't just say your experience with it. You have to say how you used it, right? Like, created a technical document on how to be a recruiter using SQL, WebEx, and AWS. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, but that's how you want to write it. Experience with Microsoft Office. Okay, this should be like 1 or 2 sentences in how you used it. I need to know how you used it. I get it. It's basic. Most people do know Office, but not everybody. I know it's in the job description. It's important. So put created technical documentation using Microsoft Office and Office 360 tools such as Excel, Word, PowerPoint to share with stakeholders or something like that. That's what I need. All right. This is exhausting me. I need to put my hair tie up. Evaluated current documents and policies and innovative approaches to How did you do that? This one is fine, but again, what did you do it? Again, you don't need this to. Why is this just like a list? This is almost. Sorry, this is just. I'm not sure why you did that, but it's not helping. These need to be in bullet points. They need to be in sentences. They can be combined, right? You could just say created documentation for our HTML and XML using Excel, Word, and Photoshop or whatever. Like, how did you use them? They need to be there. You don't necessarily need to show that you're the best with Photoshop. That's ridiculous. But you do need to show that you've used it and that you can, and how you did it. So, technical writer for the SAP transition. Yeah, I don't know if this would help anything. So yeah, it's okay. It's just, I mean, I can see you getting some interviews because you've worked with some technical stuff and you have it, but I'm missing a lot of stuff. Like, you wrote more here in your summary about your previous experience as an engineer than you did in the actual bullet points where I need it. And it's going to really depend. I can see maybe a couple people moving you forward, but from what I was looking at, I didn't see Zendesk, I didn't see Google Suite. I did see Microsoft Office tools, but in Word, so that counts as Google Suites. I didn't see, did I see GDP? I don't know if I did. DevOps was good. I didn't see Audacity, I didn't see Snagit, I didn't see Jira, I didn't see Confluence. I didn't see Zendesk, like I said, Adobe, Visio. Git was important and it's there, but it doesn't show how you used it because this doesn't count. Like, most of your bullet points don't mean anything. So I'm not trying to be mean. I don't know how else to say that. So let's move on to the next resume. This one could, I mean, if we don't have a lot of candidates and they're looking for something maybe very specific to, you know what? Here's the part I'm just realizing now is it doesn't show what you're specified in, right? It didn't show what you worked with the SMEs in. So maybe if we needed somebody specifically who worked with a network implementation or maybe DevOps, I'd move forward with it. But otherwise, I don't think I can move forward with this resume. So let's go to the next one. Another software engineer, and they have a 1:50 ratio, which is not bad, but it's not great. It's essentially the bare minimum I think somebody should have. So let's look. Trustworthy. Don't put trustworthy. I wouldn't have assumed you were not trustworthy until you wrote that down. Trustworthy full stack developer with 1 year of technical experience building financial users, smart contracts. Okay, you've got most of the keywords. I assume this is, so yeah, full stack right here, but summaries are not needed. Skill sections are usually not needed. They need to be in the bullet points or they really don't count for a lot of managers. So, okay. You were here for only like a month or two. StarkNet, automated market maker, web chain. Okay, I don't care. Web3, while can be a lot of could be in keywords, is not in a ton of them. I don't see anything here that I need. Gamification, TypeScript, Node.js. Here's what I actually see. And this, testing, just, okay, so, I think you can see, and you'll actually see with the next one of how to do a full stack, but it doesn't super count if it's in here. And you didn't put any other information, so I wonder if the 1:50 is true. Maybe it is. Web3 isn't bad to have in there, but I don't see anything else. But truthfully, a bigger issue is the bullet points are kind of anemic, and the formatting is a nightmare. In addition, this kind of looks like you've been job hopping. Maybe these were contract roles, and that's okay. Just put contract. But if they weren't, this looks like you've been here for like 2 months. This been here for like a couple of months and a couple of months, and you have like 3 jobs and almost 1 year of experience, which is gonna trigger a red flag to a lot of hiring managers. So unless you can put these as projects, which is fine, or internships, which also is fine. Internships are expected to only be about 3 months, which maybe these were. I don't know. Sorry, just got a text. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, your formatting's off for sure, but a bigger issue for me is, truthfully, I think that the bullet points, now that I'm looking at it, is there's not a lot. You do have TypeScript and Node.js here, which is solid, and Git and CI/CD, but I think you're just missing a lot. The next, because I recorded this one out of order by accident, the next video in this one, the next resume in this video is the one you should look at for how to write that along with formatting. So I'm just missing some keywords for full stack, and again, the biggest issue by far is kind of looks like you've been job hopping. So if those were contracts, that's fine, just put contract. If they were interns, that's even better, just put internship. But if you have more jobs than years of experience, it triggers warning signs in managers. So that's all I can do for this one, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer. What kind? Don't know. They will let me know, which is why this is not correct, because that was for the last job. So what we're going to be looking for is just to see what kind they are. That's pretty much going to be it. That's a sign of a good software engineer resume if I can tell immediately what kind you are: full stack, back end, front end, etc. So this person is an intern. I don't know why they wrote that. That's not necessary to write. I don't even want to repeat that. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go to the actual resume. So they've applied to about 150 and gotten at least maybe one interview or not, which isn't good. So let's see what we can do. All right, education section is exceptionally long, and don't know if it's really needed. I think you could fit this into 2 lines max. Probably be better if it was 1. Research assistant, develop the Wizard Agent framework to enhance reinforcement learning efficiency. This is a nonsense sentence. I developed a wizard to framework enhance. Please don't do that. By granting agents temporary control over environment parameter, traffic convergence, and space reward tasks like mountain car and pendulum. All right. Conducted research on 3D body scans from smartphones, blah, 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 blah. Okay, again, there's nothing here I would need for a software engineer specifically. Developed and deployed a Hacker News ingester using TypeScript and AWS. This is good. TypeScript and AWS, which pulled and filtered over 500k items per month, improving data retrieval efficiency by 35%. Designed a custom JSON parser. Okay, so the biggest issue I have in this resume is in the first 2 giant descriptions, the only things that I actually really care about is TypeScript and AWS. And that's it. That's not good. I don't know what kind of coder you are. I'm assuming since it's TypeScript, maybe full stack, but that would then be missing JavaScript, CSS, HTML, or maybe it would be another language in that. I don't know. This would definitely not pass as a software engineer of any kind. Projects, yeah, you don't, this whole, no. So, okay, what you need to do for this is redo like all these bullet points. I don't care about any of this, right? Like the only thing I really need is AWS and TypeScript, and like I'm gonna pull that up real quick just so you see it right down here real quick. But this is the stuff I'd look for if this was full stack. I don't know if this is full stack. You haven't shown me that. You've only shown me TypeScript and AWS. There is nothing I can use here to move you forward. So please, please, please just put your code. IT resumes in general are very, very heavily keyword based. If you're in sales, it's qualification based. If you're manager, it's mostly more qualification. But IT in general, especially for IC people, which is individual contributors, which is managers in the IT space, need a lot of keywords. It is a keyword based resume. So there's not much more I can do with this because there's nothing in here for me. I don't see anything. This is nice, actually, but there's no way anybody's going to probably scroll all the way down here regardless. So, and even if it is, it's not going to get you a job because I only see TypeScript and AWS and Linux right down here. So we need more keywords. Let's move on to the next resume. A resume of a software engineer. What kind of software engineer? Again, I don't know. We're going to find out. Although, now that I can see this, full stack. Good, you let me know. That's good. So, full stack engineer. If it is a full stack engineer, in that case, I can use these keywords, which I have copied from the last one. So, they stated that they are in Europe and they're applying in Germany. Yeah, so they are aware that the German market is different than the U.S. market, so I'm going to try to judge this based on the U.S. market, and hopefully it'll be equivalent, because again, I don't know the Germany market. I only know the U.S. market. We have, and what we're looking for is everything over there: TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, blah, 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 Cloud, Agile. Developed core features for learning platforms serving 500 monthly using Angular, enhancing usability and user experience. I think you used more than Angular. I just want more. I'm sure you used other stuff. Just put a little bit more, like Angular, X, Y, and Z, especially if it was like in a SQL environment or something. It's okay to double up on some of the keywords as a software engineer, specifically full stack. Integrated and fine-tuned AI-powered chatbot functionality across multiple projects. Yeah, this is fine. AI is good. If I would recommend putting what kind of AI. So like AI powered chatbot and like LLM or NLP or whatever the acronyms are. Design and maintain 50 plus REST APIs using Python, Django, perfection, streamline data exchange and facilitating seamless. Improve the development workflow by optimizing CI/CD with Docker, host and AWS. Yeah, so this is phenomenal. I think you may be missing a little bit, such as JavaScript, CSS, HTML, which I think you can just put like here. And SQL, any kind of SQL. Beyond that, that first job alone will probably get you that first job with the bullet points will probably get you a job or interview, I should say. React, Azure, Docker. Okay, cool. MySQL, Redis. Oh, there's it. Yeah, I would just recommend if you have it, you can put it up. Again, it's okay to double up a little bit on the languages. But this is a pretty solid resume. Yeah, you're just... I think if I could, I would put maybe JavaScript, CSS, HTML maybe here, and MySQL up top. But truthfully, I think that's solid. That's when the market improves again. Even without it, you're going to get a lot of interviews. Assuming the Germanic market is the same as the U.S. market, which I truthfully don't know. This would work in the U.S. So, that was a quick review, but good, we got it out. So, that's it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.